Hey, I want to show you something that I've been working on. I'm actually very proud of it. I've worked on it for like 5 days. Might not seem like much, but I learned a lot and I feel very proud of it. This is the official Geometry-Lobotomy levels list website slash page thing. This is the home page. I gotta add like more description in here. Basically, I'm gonna make the equivalent of this, but in here in the home page. If you go to the sidebar, then you can just go to the list, and here it is, the list. I do have these 2 levels in here. They're for show. This isn't a final product. Obviously, it's just an example. You can see the list in here. Top 1 is Lobotomy club step. That's probably not true. I'm just using it as an example. And if you click here, I did a middle click. It sends you to the YouTube page. I'm not gonna show you my YouTube page. And if you click here, it sends you to the actual page. Oh well, you can look at the video here. Fire in the hole shows you the ID here, the author, the position in the list, and the name of the level. And it's really easy to add these as well. So for example, let's say I want to remove Lobotomy club step from the list and make Geometry Dash top 1. Well, I do that and then I go back to the page and there it is. Geometry Dash by Arco is top 1. And then I bring it back. Geometry Dash has been pushed down by Lobotomy club step, which is back in the list. If you look at this is a JSON file. The list page basically shows you the levels in a component called level card. I'm not going to explain to you what a component is. It's basically a collection of reusable things in the web page. This list page is basically assigning levels to levels.json, which is this. Yeah, no, that was horribly explained. That's not how it works. And then it's getting the levels from the level array, which is this. An array is basically a collection of values, and the value can be any data type, we call them. This is an array of dictionaries, and in this case, each dictionary represents the data for each one of the levels in the list. For example, this level is Lobotomy club step. That's the name. It has an ID of whatever this is. It was created by Just GD Boy on YouTube. This is supposed to be the Geometry Dash name, but I don't know the Geometry Dash name, so we're just gonna use the YouTube. Video ID is, you know what, I'll just show you my YouTube page, whatever. This is the video ID. And it uses that to get the thumbnail, the link to the video, and also to embed the video in here. And it also shows you the position. Basically, the position in the list is determined by where in the array this dictionary is. This level is the first in this array, so it's gonna be top 1. This one's the second, so it's gonna be top 2. Now, programmatically, that's not how it works, but for the sake of simplicity, let's say that's how it works. In reality, it starts from 0 and then 1. But what I did was I have like a thing and it's 1, but I subtract 1 from it so that it's 0, but then it's still showing 1 in the page. I don't know if I'm making myself clear enough, but I know what's going on, so you'll have to trust me with it. I can also show you this. This is basically like the whole layout of the page. This is where the sidebar is. Next page, I'm using a framework, we call them. The framework that I'm using is called Next, and it basically like gives me a bunch of things that make it easier for me. I'll explain more later, don't worry. This is a component too, the Next page component, but this is a kind of a special component. What the Next page component does is it shows you the pages in here. For example, now I'm at home because what's in the pages folder represents the URL. At the root of the pages folder is the index.view file. Now, Vue is also a framework. Next builds on top of Vue. I'm not going to get into that. That's way too complicated. All you have to know is that this is what's shown in this part of the web page next to the sidebar when the route or the URL is this. And if I have a folder in here called list, and I have many files in here, index always takes priority. It's always going to look for index to show. So if it's /list, then in pages folder, the list folder, index.view is what's going to be here, next page. Next page basically gets replaced by whatever is in the current page. And you'll notice here I have top.view. So the square brackets around this means if you use route, this basically lets you like access the contents of the URL. Route.params is going to get a new parameter called top, and top is going to be set to whatever is in here. So this is equal to this number. The reason why I'm subtracting 1 from this is because I'm supposed to be accessing the first index of level.json, but as I said before, in programming, indexes start from 0, so this is actually the 0th index, and this is the first index, which means that if I want to show the number 2 in here, and I want to display the second level in levels.json, I'm going to have to subtract 1 so that it gets the correct index for the second element in the list, which would be the first index. I don't know if you understood that. All you have to know is that this is is 0 and 1, and here I have 2 for my example, so I have to subtract 1 so that it gets the right index of 1. Now here I'm using route.parents.top again, but this time I'm not subtracting anything from it, and I've never changed the value of this, so this is still going to show 2, as you can see right here. The little hash 2, which is route.parents.top, and then the colon, and then it's showing the name of the level, which in this case is geometry dash. And that's pretty much how it works. Style, it's just how the page looks, where each thing should be, you know, all the colors, transitions, you know, the fade-ins and fade-outs. That's all done by the style thing here. And normally you do this with CSS. I'm using SCSS because I like to, and also because it's useful for some things, like for example, let's see if I can find something here. Yeah, this, I'm not gonna explain to you what this is. And that's what I wanted to show you. And I'm super proud, and this is a working prototype. I can work with this. I can, you know, manually like add levels to the list, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But it's still not ideal. If I ever want to get like a mod team, like the official daemon list, I'm gonna need like an authentication system, and also like, you know, manually adding things to level.json here is kind of whack. It's not the best way to do it. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to add like an authentication system if I want to have mods, so that the mods can, you know, move stuff around and whatever. I'll obviously have to trust the mods, but I can take care of that. I mean, obviously I guess I can like check for every change that they want to make or something. I'm gonna implement a system for that. I'll have everything in mind. And also adding, you know, list percentages, like for example here, like list records over 40 or something, completions, jocks, I don't know, Trick or something, if Trick ever plays some of these levels. I'm looking forward to finishing this. As I said, right now it's a working prototype, and I could just leave it like that, but I really don't want to, because it would also be a very bad idea. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you. And I hope you're proud of me.